Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning in live to AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is, of course, Wednesday, October 12th, 2016. And I have a message for the Clintons. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, Bill. Black Lives Matter, Hillary, Chelsea. People like Danny Williams, who say, Bill, that he's your son, and he just wants to meet you. Why won't you meet your son, Bill? Billy? How about you, Hillary? How about you, Chelsea? We have a total CNN, Clinton News Network, blackout on Danny Williams, the alleged son, black son of Bill Clinton. Which tells you something. If there's a total Clinton News Network blackout, there must be some legitimacy to this story. Now, this isn't the first time that we've reported on Danny Williams, who allegedly is Bill Clinton's son, that Bill had, allegedly, with a black hooker, a prostitute that he liked to sleep with over a dozen times. And the mother, Danny Williams' mother, who was a drug addict and also a whore, says that she knows that her boy Danny is Bill Clinton's son because she only had one Caucasian client. And his name was Slick Willie Bill Clinton. That is the allegation. So if this is a hoax, why would CNN black it out? Pun intended. Black Lives Matter. Probably because it has some legitimacy. Now, front page of the Drudge Report today says this. CNN boss Jeff Zucker has directly ordered network staff not to cover shocking allegations made by Arkansas resident Danny Williams. Williams, who is set to give his first TV interview today, courtesy of Alex Jones over at InfoWars, claims to be Bill Clinton's biological son. Roger Stone has also unearthed a lot of this. Quote, Jeff, over at CNN, thinks that this is ridiculous, a top CNN source reveals. More like damaging. I always felt bad about Bill Clinton not wanting to be in my life, according to Williams, explains in a video released Monday. Was it because I was black? Was there something wrong with me? It made me think sometimes even of suicide. This is Danny Williams speaking. The alleged son of Bill Clinton, black son. It's not fair, and it has been hurtful. And then he goes on to plead, Hillary, please do not deny that I exist. I am your stepson. Wow. Yeah, CNN wouldn't want to cover that, right? I mean, even if it is a hoax, they should cover it because it's a major breaking story. Who wouldn't want to know, or at least find out the truth about Danny Williams here, the alleged black son of a whore, allegedly the Bill Clinton, like all the other women, right? Hillary, I'm sure, knows the truth. I'm sure Bill knows the truth. I'm sure his Secret Service agents know the truth. Just like Colin Powell said recently that Bill is still dicking bimbos. Another black man that the Clintons tried to blame on Hillary Clinton's email scandal. The 30,000 plus emails that she blew up conveniently during an ongoing investigation, which of course they knew about and were privy to because the Clintons essentially own Washington, D.C. through the corporate elitists that own her and own them. So we have allegedly Bill Clinton's son, a black man, banished. And he's speaking out now demanding a DNA test. In this new riveting testimonial, Bill Clinton's alleged long-lost son, Danny Williams, reveals how the Clintons cast him away and his current struggles to reconnect with his with his reported father. Now, we're going to go to a brief clip here, which I think is very convincing and very well done, where Danny speaks from the heart, his untold story, where he pleads with Bill, why won't you meet with me? He says things like, I've heard that, Bill Clinton's been sick, and I just want to meet him before he goes. I just want to shake my father's hand. I don't want to be ignored any longer. He talks a little bit about how he studied history, and he's read that, this was common practice among the white slave owners that would birth children, a lot of the times by raping their black female slaves. And then the wife of the slave owner would banish the boy or girl that was born from the property, or banish, those people. I mean, it goes back to slavery. And again, Black Lives Matter. Watch this clip for yourself. Let's go to that right now.
I have no doubt that I am Bill Clinton's son. It was common knowledge. Everyone in Arkansas knew. Everywhere I went, they pointed, that's Bill Clinton's son right there. He looked like him, don't he? The ears, the mouth, the chin, the teeth, the eyes, the nose. I see him in me. You can see a black Bill Clinton. When I brush my hair, I can see Bill Clinton with waves in his head. I always felt bad about him not wanting to be in my life. Was it because I was black? Was it something wrong with me? Why he don't want to be a part of me? It made me think of even sometimes suicide. It's not fair, and it has been hurtful. He still refused to acknowledge me. Well, time was very hard, and my mom was a working girl on the streets. She was heavy on drugs.
My name is Lucy Bolton. My sister's Valerie Williams, Danny Williams' mother. She was a prostitute, and she, hung around on the streets on 17th and Main. She met him on the streets.
I was told that she was with him on 13 occasions.
I don't know, about 5 or 6 months after, they had dated and everything. She said she was pregnant either.
My mom went to prison and lost custody of us. My Aunt Lucille stepped up and gained guardianship of us. She raised us in Little Rock, Arkansas. At the time, we was from group home to house. My Aunt Lucille wanted to have a father in my life. As a small child, she took me to the governor mansion.
There was a car coming at the front gate, right? When the gate swings open, I ran up in there and ran behind the gate, okay?
She was trying to get him to accept me and notice me.
When I got to the door, I asked for her, and the door was slammed in my face.
Slammed the door in her face. This is Bill's son. He had the black son out here.
And 2 little guys came from off the side of the place.
Hillary, she had guys chase him off the property.
And I went to right and dropped the thing. Get the hell out of there.
I read history. Basically goes back to slave owners. When they have a child with one of their slaves and the wives try to have them banished off the plantation. What century is this? It just wasn't right.
Every child in this state is somebody, because we're going to give them every chance we can.
And honestly, we were needing child support at the time. My mom was in prison.
We was poor, okay? We had nothing. Who gonna listen to us, really?
My Aunt Lucille was working at a gas station.
We have no money to pay lawyers. They just shut us up.
My mom told me on a few occasions where she was threatened.
She didn't talk to leave them alone because we don't come up missing.
She was also pushed out a 2-story window where she got a metal plate in her foot. To this day, she still feels scared of speaking.
And they was trying to get information where Bobby Williams was so they can give her, I guess some first money.
In fact, my mother did receive 7 $100 bills a month in the mailbox. Even presents on Christmas that was delivered to my home by state troopers. So I felt he was trying to be a part of my life. And then when he became president, everything stopped. In 1995, when my father was president of the United States, The state of Arkansas put us in foster care. I lived in foster homes. It made me feel horrible because I know his child, Chelsea, was well taken care of, and we was house to house, hungry at nights. And to know that my father was the president, it hurts. Try to imagine that your own father refused to love you, refused to say that you exist. Knowing who my father was and that he was so close yet so far away made my pain unbearable. Growing up in Little Rock School District system, it was difficulties because you got gang members, drug activities at the schools. And I wanted more to life. I didn't want to end up dead in the streets for nothing. Moving from home to home, not having a stable place to go. It came to a point in high school where I had to drop out to take care of my little sisters and brothers and make sure they were stable and able to go to school every day. I got a job full-time at a donut shop my 11th grade year to support my sisters and brothers. If I had the love and support of my father that stayed on me, made sure I had the best education, I feel I would have had a better life. In 1999, they tried to sweep me under the rug with Bill Clinton's friend publishing this phony DNA test. It never was a DNA test.
Roger Altman. Roger is a longtime friend of mine.
Just think about it. It was published in a tabloid owned by a donor of Bill Clinton. Even to this day, Megyn Kelly, Howard Kirk, they continue to quote this bogus DNA test, and it really hurts. I would love to see the DNA test done. Several times, I tried to reach out to the Clintons. People say all the time, you're gonna get yourself killed dealing with the Clintons. I wrote letters to his library. I wrote letters to addresses I got off the internet, even emailed him from Facebook and on his Facebook pages. I never got any response back. Once in Little Rock, Arkansas, I visited the Clinton Library. I wanted to see how it felt to be his president, and he was speaking. But by the time we made it there, he was already gone. We took a tour through the library, and just to see all the things he'd done in the world, helping other kids in Haiti and all the other places, it just saddened me because I never received any help from him. Hillary started running for president. She visited Little Rock at one of her campaign stops. I put myself right in front of the podium where she spoke. She was looking right at me, eye contact.
Children and families.
In my heart, I was thinking she knew who I was.
I met with a small group of the Black Lives Matter activists.
It made me wonder if she's saying Black Lives Matter, why I don't matter to her.
And I just felt for them.
I was going to introduce myself as Danny Williams, her husband's son and her stepson.
I am a new grandmother, in case you haven't heard.
I had millions of questions to ask, why?
We're going to do everything we can to make sure she has every opportunity.
As soon as she spoke, she got out of there. I didn't get to talk to my stepmom. I could never imagine having a child and not acknowledge him. I know how it feels to not have a parent in your life. I work construction. I am a person of faith. I take my kids to church every Sunday. I teach my sons how to keep bad language out your mouth, how to speak properly with yes sir and yes ma'am. Recently, I've been telling my kids that their grandfather was the president of the United States. And they amazed by it. They like, no, is it for real? And I tell them, yes, that is my father. And I'm gonna make sure you get to meet him one day. Hillary, please do not deny I exist. I am your stepson. Chelsea is my sister, and Bill is my father.
Super predators, we have to bring them to heel.
I felt bad when Hillary called black people super predators and that we need to be brought to heel. I'm black, I'm real, I am her stepson, and I deserve the love that she has given Chelsea. We hear my stepmother tells the nation every day, we're stronger together. They know who I am, and I know who I am. I have to meet my father. I have to know that he's willing to even accept me. I have to know that I don't know. Like any child, I want to know my dad and I want him to know me. I'm his only son in the world, and he's my only dad. We have to come together We have to. If Black lives truly matter to you, please contact me.
Wow. You know, I feel really bad for Danny Williams. I really do. I mean, this kid is really struggling, and all he wants to do is meet his father, shake his hand, just so he knows him. Just wants to be accepted. You know, and what popped in my mind, and probably many of yours, is how many other Danny Williams are there out there? I mean, look at this kid. He looks just like Bill Clinton. Just like him. I showed this to some family members last night, and they were like, wow. My God, if that's not Bill Clinton. He just wants to be acknowledged, Bill. Hillary, Chelsea, I mean, there's one moment in the clip you can tell they cut out where he's pretty much breaking down. He's going to lose it emotionally. Think about what this poor man has been through, living in poverty while his dad sits in an ivory tower. Allegedly, this is the allegation. Well, like you tuning in, I want the truth. I want to know the truth. We need a DNA test. We need hardcore evidence. We're going to skip the break at the moment because this is important. Danny Williams, Bill, has a voice. And Black lives do matter. Williams has been asking for a DNA test from Bill Clinton for decades. The Clintons claimed, this is the claim, that there was a DNA test which disproved Bill was the father, but it was later reported that there never was a test. The so-called DNA test allegedly conducted by The Star, a tabloid, in 1999, which supposedly proved that Danny Williams is not Bill Clinton's son, is a fraud, Danny Williams said. The Star claimed they obtained a DNA sample from the famous blue dress that Bill Clinton splooged on, ejaculated on, to compare to the DNA of Danny Williams. Really? The U.S. government turned over evidence in Clinton's impeachment trial to a cheap-ass tabloid. We're expected to believe that. You know, it's funny that the Star was owned by Bill Clinton's Georgetown College classmate, Robert Altman, who was given the Clintons and has given them over $1 million, who was appointed Assistant Secretary of the Treasury until he was forced to resign in an ethics scandal. After the Star was sold, DC insider Roger Stone went to the new owners to see the documentation on the test, but they admitted that there is no test. So we're expected to believe, this only lays credibility to the claim, that the Clintons say there was a DNA test from the Monica Lewinsky dress. So they did the test, and it disproves Danny Williams is the son. That's what they alleged. But it's through the Star, a tabloid and friend and donor who also went down in an ethics scandal by the name of Robert Altman, who's given the Clintons over $1 million. That only lays credibility to the claim. Now, back in the 1980s, Clinton reportedly visited Williams' mother, a struggling street hooker named Bobby Ann, at least 13 times while he was still governor of Arkansas. He apparently met her while jogging by her housing project and came back days later looking for sex. You know Slick Willie, allegedly paying Bobby Ann $200. Eventually, when Bobby Ann gave birth to a light-skinned boy in 1985, she suspected Clinton was the father because he was her only white client. I read he doesn't have long to live, and I want to meet him face-to-face before he dies, Danny told Newsmax. I just want to shake his hand and say, hi, Dad. Damaging allegations. I want to know the truth. Sure does look like him. Total blackout at the Clinton News Network only lays, I think, more proof to the pudding and shows you they're trying to cover something up. I've got to go to a quick break. We'll be right back. Please click the link below. Support our sponsor, Swiss America. Download their free 12-page executive summary on money, morality, and the machine. I've talked about it for years now why it's important. And download this free information. It's free. You've got nothing to lose. But I really believe in diversification. Gold, silver is a part of a balanced portfolio. Learn more right now. We'll be back after these commercial messages. Get our new 12-page executive summary from our partner, Swiss America, today. Click the link below. Again, get a free report on money, morality, and the machine. Has the American empire gone the way of Rome? All this easy, funny money, credit, quantitative easing into infinity, 0% interest rates. Is there any morality to the money system today? Again, click the link below right now from our partner Swiss America. Download Money, Morality, and the Machine, 12-page executive summary on Smith's Law in an Unethical, Overgoverned Age by Craig R. Smith. Click the link below right now or give them a call at 1-800-289-2646. That's 1-800-289-2646. Act now. So are these the Clintons' grandkids? Has this been a secret all these years? Danny Williams, who looks just like Bill Clinton, who just wants to meet his father, to know him, to be acknowledged. The man who claims he's Bill's love child says his prostitute mother slept with the former Arkansas governor 13 times and received 7 $100 bills every month delivered by a state trooper. Then when he became president, it just kind of mysteriously stopped. Danny Williams, a 30-year-old man claiming to be Bill Clinton's abandoned son, has 5 children. Goes to church, takes them every Sunday. He has promised his children that they will meet Bill Clinton one day. Williams uploaded a new video to YouTube on Tuesday in which he says he regularly tells his children that Clinton is his father, which is amazing to them. As he speaks, a series of photos featuring Williams and his smiling children flash across the screen. Williams has long claimed that his prostitute mother met Clinton when she was working on the streets of Little Rock, Arkansas. Why not do a test, Bill? Why not do a test? Prove that Danny Williams isn't your son. This is a national headline. This is big news. This is a national story that your network, the Clinton News Network, is blacking out. And Black Lives Matter, Bill. Danny Williams matters. And his 5 children matter. And he is an upstanding individual. A God-fearing man, takes his children to church every Sunday, and all he wants from you is the truth. You know, you look through these pictures of Danny Williams and his children, and you just see a good father, somebody that had to go through tough times, who had a mother that had problems and had drug addiction and did what she had to do to provide. And he's had to grow up in this environment and combat poverty. And he had to drop out of school to take a job at a donut shop. Because, Bill, you wouldn't support, allegedly, your own son. He's slinging donuts while you're president of the United States. And you're allegedly having sex and banging his mom. Doesn't sound too PC to me. Doesn't sound very politically correct to me. But again, the allegation is this is the truth. And the American people demand the truth. And you can go through all the photos here. That you see a photo of Chelsea, her newborn. I believe she's on baby number 2. I can't really remember if she is or not. I really don't care, but I know she's got at least one child. Hillary says she loves being a grandmother and all these things. Well, Hillary, maybe you should acknowledge, if you don't know already, although I'm sure you do, that there's an allegation that you have another child out there through your husband, a black child. Damning information. Now remember, they called it conspiracy when Matt Drudge broke the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and it was 110% truth. Some people say, hey, Christopher, this sounds ridiculous, sounds like a hoax. Well, if it is, why is CNN blacking it out? Why won't Bill Clinton do a legitimate DNA test, not through some tabloid of which he's got a creepy friend that, owns it. That he used to go to, a pal of his, back in the Georgetown days. Damaging. And can you imagine what it must be like to be Danny Williams believing? I mean, he deserves to know the truth either way. If Bill is actually his father through a paternity test. I mean, imagine what's been going on through his mind and how damaging that must have been through the years, believing that your father is the most powerful man in the world as president of the United States, and you're suffering on the streets, working at a donut shop to support your family, because your mother obviously can't because she's got problems and she needs severe help. And you've got Slick Willie there, allegedly banging another prostitute. I mean, Colin Powell, another black man, just said this. I'm not making it up. He said, Bill is still dicking bimbos. Still. Bill Clinton is pretty much on his deathbed, and he's still dicking the bimbos, according to Colin Powell, another black man. Not my words, his. This comes at the same time that Bill Clinton rape hecklers are continuously interrupting Obama, Hillary, and Bill when they're giving speeches, and it's absolutely amazing. People wearing their T-shirts, Bill's face just says rape on it, referencing people like Juanita Broderick, who just did a very powerful interview a couple of days ago, who described the brutal sexual attack and alleged rape of Bill, how her blouse was ripped open and she was thrown on the bed, and that she's had to deal with this psychological warfare her entire life, but she's coming out of the woodworks now to let Americans know and let the millennials know what kind of man Bill is. People like Paula Broadwell, Kathleen Willey, and others. Some 16 odd women accuse him of something. I'm sure there's hundreds more of them in the woodwork. And now we see these hecklers penetrating the mainstream media wearing their T-shirts. In fact, just a few days ago, I believe it was on Friday, Alex Jones offered $1,000 to supporters who were pictured on television for at least 5 seconds wearing a Bill Clinton rape T-shirt, and $5,000 to anyone who can be heard shouting, Bill Clinton is a rapist, while wearing such a garment. And so there's been many instances of this. You can see people holding signs, wearing T-shirts, interrupting these broadcasts. One of them, I think, was on Fox, if I remember correctly, heckling Bill, Hillary, and these very creepy people. And now Danny Williams coming out of the woodwork. This all breaking today. We've reported on this before, but again, people don't take it seriously. All this breaking now, being blacked out by the too big to fail bullshit mainstream establishment media. That also blacked out Donald Trump's recent commercial on Hillary Clinton. They unlisted it, said it wasn't friendly to the YouTube community because it's not friendly to establishment politics. They don't even allow a Republican to get his message out. That's what we're dealing with here in America today. It comes at the same time Glenn Beck said just about a day or so ago that opposing Trump is moral, ethical, even if it means Clinton wins. And he's actually voting for some other dude nobody's ever heard of. I mean, I'm sorry, Glenn. I can appreciate, I guess, your artistic integrity, I guess, but you're a douche. You're a freaking douche. And there's a reason that the Blaze is bleeding. Let's go to this brief clip where Glenn Beck basically says he's not going to vote for Donald Trump and because it's moral, and he's just pissed off because Ted Cruz didn't win and he bet on the wrong horse, and instead, essentially, he'd rather just elect Hillary Clinton. Let's go to that now.
I will tell you that it has crossed my mind.
To vote for Trump?
To vote for Hillary. It has crossed my mind. I think Donald Trump is so unstable, so dangerous, that it has crossed my mind. I can't do it because she's just a horse of a different color. She's just as bad, but...
But you've never considered voting for Donald Trump?
No.
So it's not a horse of a different color. It's a different horse.
Yeah, they're both bad. I think under Hillary Clinton, the nation most likely can become just run by oligarchs. I think under Donald Trump, he's so unstable, I wouldn't put anything past him. I don't know what our country looks like.
So the Republican Party's in such bad shape that Glenn Beck has considered Hasn't come to a conclusion.
No, I'm not going to. I have
considered voting for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay.
I considered it. I'm not going to. I'm going to vote for, I think his name is Darrell Castle. He's Constitutional Party candidate.
Darrell Castle?
Yeah.
He just got Glenn Beck's endorsement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Castle 2016.
Yeah.
So, Bill, I'm sorry. Excuse me, not Bill. Glenn, I'm losing my train of thought because you're just so irritating. I can barely listen to you. You're just a douche. I'm sorry. You're a freaking douche if you're going to give this election to Hillary criminal Clinton. Crooked Hillary Clinton. You've considered voting for Hillary Clinton. You've got to be freaking kidding me. And you call yourself a conservative pundit. It's absolutely bullshit, and it's the lowest of the low. And you're a douche. And there's a reason the Blaze is going down in flames, because your audience is fleeing rapidly. You're going to vote for some guy no one's even heard of. You're essentially giving your vote to Hillary rotten Clinton, something you allegedly have been working against your entire existence as the conservative truth teller that you are. So I'm going to call a duck a freaking duck. You know, Bill Clinton came out the other day. He said Trump's base are standard rednecks. So we're not just deplorables now, we're rednecks, which is kind of funny because I'm pro-Trump. Well, I would take being called a redneck as a compliment, but I don't really see myself as a redneck. I see myself as a highly educated intellectual, not a redneck. But it's kind of nice, though. They stamp us as the deplorables. It's kind of a nice thing. It actually works towards our advantage. I kind of like being a deplorable, actually. The Clinton clan has once again demonstrated its utter contempt for average, everyday Americans. Hillary Clinton infamously said that half of Trump's supporters are a deplorable group of hateful bigots. And now her husband, Bill Clinton, has said that Trump supporters are standard rednecks. Well, ain't that right, Bill? Yeah, we're all rednecks here that just like Donald Trump and the old constitutional principles. I just all got a piece of hay, sticking out of our mouths. You're just irritated that more than half the country, and all these polls are rigged, by the way, even though they say it's neck and neck. I mean, I compare the stadiums filled that Donald Trump has filled compared to Hillary Clinton, where there's like no one there. I mean, talk about a sharp contrast. And then they tell us the polls are neck and neck. Yeah, because they're rigged. Well, this only provides Trump's base with more ammunition. The more the GOP party fractures and hates on Donald Trump, and the more Bill Clinton hates on Trump supporters and calls them standard rednecks, and the more Hillary Clinton calls over half the country a deplorable, the only more it works in our favor. It works in Donald Trump's campaign's favor because it exposes the criminals for who they truly are. How come CNN isn't reporting on Danny Williams right now? I mean, they report on what Donald Trump said about the P word 10 years ago when he had his, a hot mic recording his conversation in private. Why isn't CNN talking about Danny Williams? Because they're bought and paid for. There was an interesting video that came out with Barack Obama. This just came out. I had never seen it before, from the 2008 campaign, where he appears to show himself flaunting an erection to female reporters. He just kind of sticks his leg out. He's like, hey, check this out. Once you go black, you never go back. Let's take a look at the video.
Agent's killing us. Agent, sit down. Agent, sit down.
We're going to have to, I can see the hours and table Stand back.
Move down. Oh, come on. Please, woman. Agent's killing us. Agent, sit down. Agent, sit down.
So guys, it's just such a double standard. I mean, there will be so much emphasis on locker room talk, something that Donald Trump has apologized for, and I don't condone at all, but he said, and if you're a guy and you've got a dick between your legs, you've said or heard, even if you haven't said it. And again, I'm not condoning it, language like that before, but you won't hear the mainstream media, or you won't see them showing you these types of images, or they'll black out the black alleged son of Bill Clinton, Danny Williams. You won't get any story there. And it just shows you what a double standard, this bullshit, too big to fail mainstream media truly is. I wanted to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, PointZeroEnergy.com. In fact, we had David Willis on the broadcast just a couple days ago talking about what if the power goes out? What if there's an EMP, God forbid, some kind of suitcase bomb, or just the grid goes down for a few hours, maybe a day, maybe a couple days. Are you prepared? Do you have a solar backup system in place? And he goes through, a lot of the product knowledge. It's a how-to video. In fact, we'll put a link to it in this video. You can watch it. It's put out a couple days ago on Hurricane Matthew when that was going down, because I think it's valuable information. And I keep getting all these requests. Christopher, give us the how-to videos, give us the educational videos, help us with our prepping. And so I listen to you guys, and this is exactly what we've been doing. We're doing a lot of it on demand as well. So please subscribe. It's the price of a cup of coffee, $4.95 a month, $49.95 a year. You support us directly, alternatively. But I encourage you, check them out right now. It's a family-owned business, really good people. David and Sherry. Again, I just had David Willis on our show not too long ago. Gives you the complete rundown on their solar generators, their solar panels, their solar kits. They even have an EMP generator bag, which is unlike anything I've ever seen in this market. I mean, truly, if you go check out the competition, you won't find anyone with that kind of technology. And if you look at the solar generators specifically, my favorite, which I really think is good kind of for your standard family unit, is the Home Grid 5000 HD, which is totally heavy duty, portable power, handles emergency backup for major home appliances, runs multiple 110 volt and 220 volt home appliances up to 5,000 continuous watts. That's why they call it the Home Grid 5000 HD. This thing is badass, super powerful, ideal for backing up your refrigerator, your freezer, your microwave, high surge kitchen appliances, washing machine, well pump, range, gas furnace, and more. Check them out today. Visit PointZeroEnergy.com. I've got a special link just for AMTV customers in our description box. So go there or give them a call. Ask for Sherry or David at 208-530-2393. That's 208-530-2393. Donald Trump is declaring war on the GOP. His gloves are off. He says the shackles have been taken off, and it feels great, right? Because people like Paul Ryan are, fiddle effing around the endorsement right now. Like, oh, I can't, I don't know. I'm going to still kind of technically endorse him, but I'm going to move away. I'm not going to campaign for him. McCain just withdrew his support. So again, we see who the dirty politicians are here because they won't stand by the people's choice. Donald Trump, who smoked, by the way, his entire competition. What was it, 16 in the GOP field? He smoked the driftwood that is Jeb Bush. Jebby. He thinks he has a divine right like the Clintons to be the next president because he's a Bush. He smoked his competition. Taught all of them what it takes to win. And now they're fleeing, right? The rats. Fleeing their own party. The Republican Party. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of good questions lately, and I put out this question to Donald Trump myself. I mean, why would you even agree to do these mainstream media rigged debates? Although Trump totally dominated and it backfired on Hillary just a few short days ago over the weekend. But why don't you start your own party? And I actually think Trump will if he loses and it's rigged against him. I saw a comment, someone said, like, Trump, are you going to start a new party? Maybe like the Nationalist Party? Although I think they could probably come up with a better name because, people will use that, white nationalism and, all those kinds of things. But I think it's a very serious possibility. As Trump declares all-out war on the GOP party as top-ranking Republicans, the rats that they are, flee the nest. Trump says this. She's about Hillary Clinton, a bad person. Trump digs at Hillary as he recites WikiLeaks data dump, the Podesta emails dump, or more bombshells and pledges to investigate the investigation that ended her classified email case are unleashed. Courtesy of Julian Assange, Donald Trump rattled off a litany of WikiLeaks revelations before a Florida crowd on Tuesday night. He hit his Democratic opponent right in the face on her embarrassing open trade and open borders speech because Hillary Clinton, folks, wants a one-world government. She doesn't want borders. She promotes and funds through her donors like George Soros the migration crisis. A teleprompter-aided speech said Clinton wants to end forever the American independence that our founders gave to us. Trump spent more than 20 minutes detailing embarrassing bombshells hacked from Clinton's campaign chairman's email account. They call them the latest evidence of the hatred that the Clinton's campaign has really for everyday Americans because she is a bad person. And John Podesta, Clinton's campaign chairman, had his Gmail account hacked, and the WikiLeaks organization has released the embarrassing contents to the public. And there's just so much coming out, folks. So much coming out on this. It's absolutely unbelievable, and it's rigged. And the mainstream media keeps wanting to paint the picture like Donald Trump's unhinged because he's got a freaking Twitter account. As he said so in the debate, Twitter and social media, and he's got some 25 million people following him, is a very relevant way to connect with the people like you and me on the ground. And if you don't understand that, Anderson Pooper and others, you're dumb. And Donald Trump isn't unhinged. The Republican Party is, because it's one party and the whole system is an illusion. There's also a reason they set up an electoral college because they really decide who the next president of the United States is. This is at the same time big tech companies like YouTube unlist, censor the truth of a recent video, a campaign video Donald Trump put out on Hillary Clinton. Yeah, that's right. YouScrew is unlisted and added a warning. In fact, I'm not even going to play the video because I know they'll take our video down if I play the darn video. They've unlisted it. Another reason, again, to support us, folks. On demand. Click the link below. Start your free 14-day trial. It's the price of a cup of coffee. Bypass YouScrew and FaceCrook and others. Get all of our content completely commercial and ad-free. If you don't like commercials or ads, get it. It's only $4.95 a month. And added a warning to the new Donald Trump ad entitled Dangerous, posted Tuesday morning. Well, you're dangerous, YouScrew, by Team Trump account that focuses on national security and warns that Hillary Clinton does not have the stamina and judgment to keep America safe. In addition to that, YouScrew also placed the ad behind the restricted mode firewall that blocks inappropriate content. So they unlisted it and they put it behind a restricted mode firewall to boot so people can't get to it. Oh yeah, it's a free press. Oh yeah, it's a free media. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it sure is a free country nowadays with these giant monopolies, which have essentially become public utilities owned by the U.S. federal government. And you can see the image here. The video is unavailable with restricted mode enabled. It says, to view this video, you will need to disable restricted mode. And then there's an unhappy face because they don't want the truth out. United Nations says Trump as president would pose a global danger, according to their chief. The world will be in danger if Republican nominee Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, the top United Nations human rights official said on Wednesday. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Zeid Ra'ad al-Hussein, cited Trump's views on vulnerable communities, including minorities, in his talks of authorizing torture and interrogations banned under international law as deeply unsettling and disturbing. What's Guantanamo Bay? What is that? I mean, is that not a torture facility? Did Barack Obama close Guantanamo Bay? Oh, no, he's still working on it, even though he promised in his campaign. So, again, everybody is working against Donald Trump. Whether or not it's the elitist one-party system that makes up Republicans, but they're really just as bad as the Democrats, or it's the United Nations that also wants a Hillary Clinton presidency. You see, the New World Order, folks, has decided who the next president of the United States is. And if you don't believe me, check out our video that's looks to be going viral. We posted yesterday. Strange things are happening. A great tribulation is coming, where I get into a little bit of the spiritual side and the spiritual warfare of current events, the real big picture, far bigger, by the way, than this political rhetoric, dog and pony show that we're getting. So much is coming to America, so much is coming to the world, and we can all feel it because, as I mentioned yesterday, folks, darkness is here. Darkness is here. Didn't I say over a year ago that this race would come down to, what was it, a gnat's ass? A gnat's ass is really small. You can barely see it. But I said it would come down to a gnat's ass, right? Which is exactly where it is today. According to a recent Los Angeles poll, Los Angeles Times, we have Hillary Clinton at 44.4% with the blue line to Donald Trump at 44%. It's down to a gnat's ass so they can rig it Hillary last minute because that's where it's going. I hope I'm wrong about that, but it looks like it's exactly what's happening. An additional poll, I believe this one is from Rasmussen Report, says the race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton continues to tighten as the results following Sunday night's debate keep coming in. As Hillary Clinton holding a 4-point lead at 43% to Donald Trump's 39%. So truly coming down to a gnat's ass with, 30 days or so to the November 8th election. What comes after that? What comes after this political theater, this political soap opera? HSBC just put out a warning, said there's going to be a severe economic collapse and stock market sell-off in the not-too-distant future. Imminent, they say. You know, there's a reason why I recommend our sponsors like Swiss America, I mentioned earlier in this video. Just click the link below, get their free report. It's free, it's education. What happens after the election? Where is this all going? You know, there's a military buildup. I don't know if you've noticed this. Countries like China and Russia, as they not only sell vast quantities of U.S. treasuries, but build up their military and nuclear arsenal and prepare for war and prepare some 40 million Russians for war. Let's get to that story. We're skipping ahead here today because I can do whatever the hell I want. Russian government officials told to immediately bring back children studying abroad. In Europe, when it gets serious, you have to lie. At least if you are an unelected bureaucrat like these people. In Russia, however, when it gets serious, attention immediately turns to the children, which is why we read a report on a Russian website published Tuesday, according to which Russian state officials and government workers were told to bring back their children studying abroad immediately, even if it means cutting their education short and not waiting until the end of the school year and re-enroll them in Russian schools, with some concern. The article adds that if the parents of these same officials also live abroad for some reason and have not lost their Russian citizenship, they should also be returned to the motherland. The source cited 5 administration officials as a source of the report, and the recommendation applies to all, from the administration staff to regional administrators to lawmakers of all levels. Employees of public corporations are also subject to the ordinance. One of the sources said that anyone who fails to act will find such noncompliance to be a complicating factor in the furtherance of their public sector career. Why would the Russian government do this now? Why are they immediately calling to bring back all children studying abroad? What are they preparing for? Why did Putin issue an alert? Why is he preparing 40 million people to potentially live in bunkers during a nuclear fallout from schizophrenic America, is what he calls it? Why? Because the only news I'm getting is about Kim Kardashian and her jewelry heist and her big fat ass and a total Clinton News Network blackout on a legitimate story which makes up Danny Williams, the alleged son of Bill Clinton, the black son, who looks like has been perceived as the black sheep to the Clintons, if that story is true. And again, the blackout only tells us and leads credibility to the fact that it is. Remember, they tried to black out Monica Lewinsky. I'll say it again. When that first came out, when that first leaked, when that dump was first exposed, they called it a right-wing conspiracy, and it turned out to be 110% truth. 100% factual. Correct. Also, an interesting story came out. You probably remember this, and it didn't get that much exposure. You know, a lot of the time that happens, people think, it's not a significant story. We interviewed Sheriff Joe Arpaio here in Arizona, a guy that I like, the toughest sheriff in America, you know. And I asked him a very hardball, critical question about a politically motivated Obama investigation that was taking place against him on criminal contempt charges and a racial profiling case here in Arizona, and he played completely dumb. He's like, what are you talking about? I've never heard of that. He kind of made me look like an idiot on camera. Well, bombshell, Sheriff Joe. Front page news last night, headlined everywhere, federal government, Obama to pursue criminal contempt charge against Sheriff Joe Arpaio. But he says he vows to fight it. So again, we hit the nail on the head before the mainstream media, and then this bombshell hits. Now, Sheriff Joe probably didn't want to speak much on it at the time because it's an ongoing criminal case. So it's probably why he was being, kind of tough on me. But again, we were 110% correct. And this is totally politically motivated. And I like Sheriff Joe. Totally politically motivated by the Barack Obama administration. Because remember, Sheriff Joe isn't a friend of Barack Obama. He helped to further the birtherism cause. We covered that several years ago and all these other issues. And he's not a friend of Obama. So now Obama is going to take it out on Sheriff Joe in a landmark, unprecedented case, unlike anything that we've ever seen. Again, we hit the nail on the head. You heard it here first. And if you don't believe me, check out the video we just posted, what was it, a week or so ago, at the Trump rally in Prescott Valley. I'm not going to play it, although we might have done some overlays of it while I'm speaking here. But again, we hit the nail on the head. We are one step ahead, two steps ahead, three steps ahead, really, of the mainstream media. Knew it was coming. Totally politically motivated. Sheriff Joe denies it when I speak to him, but it becomes reality just a few short days later. I thought this was an uplifting story. Tim Tebow hit a home run. What a cool dude. His first minor league baseball game allegedly saves a man from seizure after fainting, falling on the ground, putting his hand on him, and praying. And I thought, wow, isn't that just an amazing story? And isn't Tim Tebow an amazing individual? New York's Mets prospect and former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow reportedly saved a fan's life from a seizure on Tuesday. The unnamed fan had a seizure while the Heisman winner was signing autographs, but the seizure stopped after Tebow placed his hands on the fan and prayed. Somebody tweeted this, says, Tebow signing autographs, fan has what looks like seizure, not moving. Tebow puts hand on him and says a prayer. Man breathes. Wow. An amazing individual. And from what I've heard, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I thought it was a really uplifting story. Something we'll be looking into further here at AMTV, an arms dealer says administration made him scapegoat on Libya operation. This is somebody here based in Arizona to protect Clinton. Now, of course, all of you know this because I've reported on this incessantly in recent years, how Hillary Clinton, while Secretary of State, and Barack Obama, while President of the United States, orchestrated a covert operation through U.S. intelligence and her allies in the Middle East, destabilizing and taking out, murdering essentially people like Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, and then transferring guns through CIA asset liaison Christopher Stevens, of which him and several other Americans died as a result of gross negligence, courtesy of Hillary Clinton and the State Department, not providing them backup on the September 11th anniversary, which resulted in a terrorist attack and their deaths. Okay, and they blamed on a YouTube video called Innocence of Muslims, but it turned out to be total bullshit, and they told us it wasn't a terrorist attack even though it was. Well, American arms dealer Mark Turi, in his first television interview since criminal charges against him were dropped, told Fox News that the Obama administration, with the cooperation of Hillary Clinton's State Department, tried and failed to make him the scapegoat for a 2011 covert weapons operation to arm Libyan rebels that spun out of control. We're talking guns, ammo, heavy artillery, tanks, trucks, all kinds of armament to arm and fund, all which is admitted now and declassified by the U.S. federal government and the State Department while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State and while Barack Obama was President of the United States, to help arm, fund, and train radical jihadi terrorists like ISIS that never even existed, what they call moderate terrorists, but is really just ISIS, that never even existed prior to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama meddling in this part of the world. I would say 100% I was victimized. This is the arms dealer based in Arizona, to somehow discredit me, to throw me under the bus, to do whatever it took to protect their next presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton. He told Fox News Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge. The 48-year-old Arizona resident has been at the epicenter of a failed federal investigation led by the Justice Department spanning 5 years and costing the government an estimated $10 million. Turi says the Justice Department abruptly dropped the case to avoid public disclosure of the weapons program that was designed to force the ouster of Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi during the 2011 Arab Spring. Quote, "Those transcripts from current as well as former CIA officers were classified." He says if any of these relationships had been revealed, it would have opened up a can of worms. There wouldn't have been any good answer for the U.S. government, especially in this election year. The Justice Department faced a deadline last week to produce records to the defense. So again, something we'll be looking into further, but more proof to the pudding that Hillary Clinton was running guns, along with Barack Obama, arming terrorists on the ground to take out people like Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi and transfer those guns into Syria, which is an operation continuing this today, again, creating ISIS from nothing. Barack Obama, the president of ISIS, Hillary Clinton, the vice president, the VP. And now this continuing today, and we see all the propaganda in Syria with the children hurt and dying, all because of the Clintons and all because of Barack Obama meddling in this part of the world, 500,000 people dead, an absolute genocide of civilians, all because Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have been running and transferring guns, as this arms dealer says, a case which he was scapegoated on, and they tried to quiet up and shut up and cover up because it would hurt Hillary Clinton's chances as president here in 2016. An absolute genocide of people in this part of the world. Secretary of State John Kerry, who replaced Hillary Clinton, says he threatens retaliation for Russian meddling in the U.S. election, which is total propaganda and total bullshit. You know, they love to blame Russia for everything because it's going to make it very convenient when we go to war against them. Right, Kerry? Right, Hillary? Right, Obama? Promises retaliation for Russian meddling in U.S. election. I thought this was an interesting story. Russia's Lavrov says he's asked about the presidential candidates, and he says there are so many pussies on both sides of the U.S. presidential campaign. Let's go to that clip. It's pretty funny.
Russia had its own Pussy Riot moment. What do you think of Donald Trump's Pussy Riot moment?
Well, I don't know whether this would. English is not my mother tongue. I don't know whether I would be. I would sound. Decent. There are so many pussies around your presidential campaign on both sides that I prefer not to comment about this.
Oh my goodness! I wasn't expecting that.
So, folks, there you have it. Lavrov says, well, I don't know what this would. English is not my mother tongue. I don't know if I would sound decent. There are so many pussies, referring to both candidates, around the presidential campaign on both sides that I prefer not to comment on this. Please check out our sponsor, safeandvaultstore.com. We've got a special direct link in the description box right now. Enter promo code AMTV10. Get 10% off any safe in stock today. Why? Because Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton want your guns. Again, it's a death by 1,000 cuts. They want your freaking guns. So protect your guns with the safeandvaultstore.com. Again, enter promo code AMTV10. Get 10% off any safe in stock. Or Light Me, that's Light Me promo code, get a free light kit. Check them out right now. Click that link below. Let's go to a quick spot on that and close out the video. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton want your guns. So protect your guns with the safeandvaultstore.com. That's the safeandvaultstore.com. Click the link below right now. We got a special promo for AMTV customers exclusively. Get 10% off in-stock gun safes, and with your purchase, get either 10% off or a free light kit. Enter promo code AMTV10 for 10% off. That's AMTV10, or free kit to get a free lighting kit. Enter promo code LIGHTME. Promo code LIGHTME. Again, that's a safeandvaultstore.com. Special link for AMTV customers exclusively. Click the link below right now. They want your guns. So protect your guns with the safe. So folks, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Of course, I'm Christopher Green. This is AMTV Alternative Media Television. Please support us on demand if you're not already. Get all of our content completely commercial and ad-free, uncensored, uncut, unfettered truth. And support us alternatively so we can continue to expand and do what we do. Start your free trial, 14 days. If you don't like it, then don't stay, but you will because you're gonna freaking love it. A complete warehouse of AMTV videos, content, how-tos, forums, interacting with you one-on-one, Q&As, and more. Thousands of videos in our archive. And as Don Mario says, live, right now on air, we are a nation of pussies. And I couldn't agree with you more, Don. We are. That's the truth. Make it viral. Hard-hitting and in your face. Again, I want, and America should demand, a DNA test. A new one for Danny Williams, the alleged son of Bill Clinton, a black man. And I'll close with this. Black Lives Matter.